Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to 50 yards away from the green. Now this is a driving range kind of scenario where we have no rough, we have nothing else, and people think they cannot practice their short game. But because of a poorly knee, there is no full swings for me. I am limited to only practicing my chipping and my pitching. And so when you're at a golf course, it's always great to have a lovely short game area. We've got varied lies, etc. But that's not always the case. Not all golf courses have got short game areas, and not all golf courses allow golfers to be able to practice on the course itself. So you can absolutely practice your short game on the driving range. So if I had £1 for every single time someone come into me in the past and said, Jay, I just want to be more consistent, whether it be through the long game, the full swing, or even short game or anything else like that, I think I would have retired already. And I'm not a great fan at all of putting coaching content out there. The reason why, if I was to put something out there to try and fix this or try and help that, effectively I know already that within reason I make one person better but another person worse, because we all do things massively differently. And if you go on tour, there are so many different ways of getting the golf ball in the hole. Even the tour players don't swing exactly the same. So this tip is going to be absolutely one of being more consistent. It is not me telling you how to physically do your short game technique. There are plenty of YouTube videos out there which say it's a good idea to do this and a good idea to do this. I am just going to give you one tip here that will allow you to potentially be much more consistent in your striking of the golf ball. And it's this. I have a gap wedge in my hand here, not a 58 degree, not a 60 degree, anything else like that. I'm a great fan of have as least loft as possible to do the job you need. Make sure from this position you get onto the green and make sure you get yourself in a position where you can putt. Now most golfers have a problem with this kind of distance and closer because they don't know how to use this part of the golf club. It's the bounce, it's the soul of the golf club. They lead with their lead hand, whether it be their left from my point of view of a right-handed golfer or a right from a left-handed golfer, but they lead with their left hand, where you find there's big drags forward because obviously in a full swing we want that handle to be delivered in front of the head. But in a short game environment, that is not necessarily what we want. We get disconnect as soon as we get to the point where we start dragging hands, we get disconnect here and we can start leading with the leading edge, which counts for digging and also thinning, and that's not what we want. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking your normal stance. I'm not going to go into exactly how you should do this, or do your normal stance. As long as you've got a half okay setup, this will work with nearly everybody set up, and you have to concentrate on one thing. Your right arm, your trail, for a right-handed golfer it's a right arm, for a left-handed golfer it's a left arm, but your trail arm, your back arm, needs to stay in contact with your trunk, with your core. That'll allow the golf club to swing and allow the head to pass. No different. If you were to do the same thing, but hold on to your arm like this and just swing, you can see, with you limiting, you can see the golf club releases, and it releases with the sole hitting the ground, not leading with the leading edge. And so we'd set up as we normally do. I am not putting as much weight on my left-hand side because of the fact that I've got a poorly knee. You can see I'm splaying it out there to try and take some strain off it. But all I'll be doing is make my normal swing, and you can do different techniques if you want. We'll go into that in a sec, but you just do your normal swing, but keeping this arm absolutely attached all the time through on your trunk. Just a fraction of a push there, but absolutely, I'm about a yard or so too far. You're going to get up, down, give or take, in 2 shots from there. The whole idea of this, from 50 yards away, guys, be honest and be realistic. It is not in any way to get so close to the hole that you're one putt. This is not going to be, you'd have to be a pro golfer to be looking at this and saying, I'm going to get up and down from here. Yeah, and even the pros don't get up and down from here all the time. And this is a fairly simple 50-yard pitch shot. So when it comes to the different ideas, when you've got, say we're in a different situation, not on the fairway, we're in the rough, and you're looking that you're going to have to change your setup and do a different way of moving across the golf club, golf ball, to try and get that golf club cutting through whatever's back here. And that's a common technique to know, in case you've aimed further left and you start getting this kind of action, where before we went straight back and then straight through, this would be more this way. You can do exactly the same thing, you just need to have a little more speed because you're going to open the face, which adds a bit more loft, and you can do the same thing. So I'm going to be aiming left, face open, again exactly the same thing, but I'm going to keep my right arm always connected to my trunk. As you can see there, it's close. That's the best way that I have found to try and get golfers to be able to be more consistent with their short game. The main thing is, I've always found, is trying to keep a compact swing, trying to keep moving parts to a minimum, try not to get these massive extensions down. When we're talking about the long swing, having a big long extension is what is always taught for power, etc. But within the short game, absolutely, you need that controlled smaller arc, the one that you can control the club head and not start losing connection and dragging that leading edge into the ground. If you start using the bounce better, the sole better into the ground rather than the leading edge, you can start controlling loft, you can start controlling strike, and you can start controlling distance much better, and hopefully bring those double chips out of the equation completely, and maybe once in a while get up and down with one putt. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go and give it a big old thumbs up. YouTube like, so do I. Down there is the subscribe button. It's free. It's great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that one is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.